Presentation of Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
It's game night on Cablevision Sports. Today from Hofstra University, it's the 2002 New York State Boys Lacrosse Semifinals. Tonight, we have the Wildcats out of Shoreham-Wading River on Long Island at 19-1, taking on the Somers Tuskers at 22-0 out of Westchester County. One of these teams will move on to the state final. Well, good to see everybody. Jimmy Cavallo, our entire Cablevision Sports gang, and welcome to semifinal Thursday right here at Hofstra Stadium. Two teams looking for a crack at a state championship. Shoreham-Wading River, first-time Long Island champs out of Suffolk County Section 11, taking on the Somers Tuskers. 22-0, a perfect 22-0 for the Somers Tuskers. They are here for the third consecutive year looking for their first crack at a state championship. Somers out of Section 1 in Westchester County. Well, he's been along the way all season long on Cablevision Sports and our coverage of high school lacrosse on Long Island. My partner today, Carrie Gluck. He'll call the action up in the booth with Hal Sass. But Carrie Gluck, let's talk about it right now. When you talk about Shoreham-Wading River at 19-1, they win their first Long Island championship. They have escaped Long Island, taking on the Somers Tuskers. They've lost this game 2 years in a row. In 2000, they lost to Lynbrook. Last year, they lost to eventual state champion Manhasset. They have escaped their region. Both teams looking for a crack at Saturday's final.
Well, I'll tell you, Shoreham-Wading River, man, they are excited to be here. Coming off Long Island is a major accomplishment for the B schools in Suffolk County and Nassau County, and now they are here in the downstate semifinals. Somers comes out of their section. They've been here before, Jimmy. They've been here for the last 2 years. This is 3 years. They'd like nothing more than to take this game home as a win and get into that finals. That's been their goal all along.
Let's take a look at two teams and their road to these championships. We'll start with 8-year skipper Tom Rotance, the head coach of Shoreham-Wading River. Here's their road to the finals. The first round in the Suffolk semis, they beat Mount Sinai 15-2. They took out Harbor Fields 13-2, and there in the Long Island Championship, they beat Cold Spring Harbor 12-8 to springboard them into the state semifinals, taking on their good friends from the Somers, the Tuskers. Let's talk about some of the primetime players when you talk about Shoreham-Wading River, and they have an outstanding one, just a sophomore, a 10th grader, the Shack Attack, Lee Shacknowski, 6 goals in the Long Island Championship against Cold Spring Harbor. This guy can really bring it, Carrie Gluck.
He certainly can. What a game he had against Cold Spring Harbor. 6 goals. He is flying. He is hot in this playoff. He is an outstanding attackman and only a sophomore, as you said, Jimmy. He got 6 goals, and I would say probably on 6 shots. He was awesome. His shots were all in tight. Within 5 yards, he didn't miss. He's a gritty kid, only in 10th grade. He's not afraid to take a hit in tight. He's great on ground balls, and that can be so critical in this game, winning those ground balls. He's not afraid to take the hit, and that tells me he's a great, gritty attackman.
Of course, when you took on Cold Spring Harbor in the Long Island Championship, when you were Shoreham-Wading River, you knew you had to take on Greg Pizer in the faceoffs. Well, John Gonzella did just that. 15 of 23 faceoff, John Gonzella, the junior midfielder, won.
Boy, is he stepping it up big in the playoffs, going big against Pizer, winning those 15 faceoffs. That was really key for Shoreham-Wading River. No doubt about that, Jimmy. And he stepped up big before. He won 20 of 25 against Wantor when he had to step it up. This kid is coming off an ACL injury. He's going in for surgery right after the playoffs. Didn't want to do it during the season. Didn't want to miss a game. Right after the playoffs, ACL surgery. So he is playing through some tough stuff right now. He is one heck of a player.
Yeah, face-off, get-off guy had a huge impact. Let's go to Westchester County and those Tuskers of Somers. What a magical ride for Jim Donahue in his 5th season. Perfect 22-0. Let's look at the road to the top for those Tuskers. You see they beat Byram Hills 15-14. Then they took out Henry Hudson. Look at these scores, 14-4. Talk about Glens Falls in the regional final. 14-0. Man, that is an emphatic victory when you're talking about getting out of your region. They have some outstanding players. We'll talk about the first one, the junior at Chapman, one of the Rabideau twins. Let's start with Ryan Rabideau. This guy is highly recruited, a primetime player.
Absolutely. He is one of the top recruits up in their section. He is their leading scorer, a fast, great kid to go to the cage. Hard shot. He is capable of putting some balls in the back of the net. He can light them up if you give him some room.
Yeah, Rabideau, one of the many. You talk about these Tuskers. You can pick 8 guys to talk about as key primetime players, but another one, the junior midfielder, John Discoli, explosive. He's been outstanding in this postseason run.
John Discoli, as a midfielder, has really been able to do everything. He's all county. He's quick. He's fast. He's got a hard shot. Great dodger. Watch him look to take on players. He's going to go to the cage very strong. Key man in the midfield.
Cary Gluck, many times in these championship atmosphere games, comes down to the keepers, the guy in between the pipes. Boy, Somers and Reed Palmieri started as an attackman sophomore year. Starting goalie gets mono. Reed Palmieri switches to goalie. He's been their MVP. And Matt DeMarco for sure in Wading River has just been outstanding. These are 2 guys who can flat out stop the ball.
Absolutely. Reed Palmieri has been a 3-time All-County MVP for Somers, and he's been the team MVP. So he is very capable. Great out of the cage. Gets him into the transition. They like to run, Jimmy. Watch this team go up and down the field. He's going to be instrumental in that aspect. Matt DeMarco, on the other hand, has been stepping it up huge in the playoffs. All-division player for Shoreham. He stepped up last year as a youngster. Now he's filling in between the pipes, doing a great job.
Cary Gluck, you ready for a semifinal?
Hey, this is going to be one heck of a game. Undefeated against a 1 loss. Number 3 in the state, Somers.
Cary Gluck will now go upstairs and talk about Hal Sass is standing by, ready to rock and roll. We are just moments away. It's Long Island versus Westchester. 2 teams looking for a trip to the state final. Come on back. We return with our pregame coverage right after this on Cablevision Sports.
Had plenty of goals in the playoffs. And a feed to Breslin. He scores off the pass from Ryan Miller. Spots Miller. Miller cross feed to Ryan, and he scores! A man down goal. And here they go. Smith with that long pole down low, and they score. Von Hein. Junior Von Hein got in and is outside the score with his 3rd straight goal. Working against Smith. Great feed! And they scored and take the lead. On the way, Denahan, the feed down low and missing, but Miller puts the rebound in. You can't make that mistake. Finds Denahan. Oh, pretty goal. Ryan Miller. Now to DeConze. Breaking to the cage, Ryan, and scores. The ball through. Once they realize that this game.
Adelph, I never feel lost in the crowd.
Hey, where do you go for your Long Island Ducks?
Hey, Woodbury, we get the Duck games on Cablevision Channel 70. Yay!
If you can't get enough Long Island Ducks this season, then catch them on Cablevision Sports. Don't miss all the action when the Bridgeport Bluefish take on the Long Island Ducks, Friday, June 14th at 7. Live from Citibank Park. It's not just baseball, it's Atlantic League baseball. Brought to you locally by Marches of Huntington Village.
Only on Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
Today's Downstate Championship game is being brought to you by Adelphi University. Call 1-800-ADELPHI or check them out on the web at adelphi.edu. And by Cablevision local programming, TV that's close to home. Hofstra Stadium, Hempstead, New York, on a cool, blustery day. Rain in the forecast. We'll see if it holds out during this C-Class championship game. As we take a look at the Shoreham-Wading River Wildcats with a record of 19-1 and their starters. Shaknowski, the big guy at the attack, 6 goals in the Long Island Championship. And the midfield, Cervini, Gonzella, Ferrara with the big game. Rapone, Tonell, and Gleason on defense, and the goalkeeper, the man in between the pipes, be number 4, Matt DeMarco. Had a big game against Cold Spring Harbor as he was able to capture the Long Island Class C title for the Wildcats of Shoreham-Wading River. And on the other side, the Tuskers of Somers, 22-0. Coach Jim Donahue's club in the attack for them. Rabidou, Von Hain with 31 goals, and Drew Warney, number 14. In the midfield, Descoli, Lloyd, and Rabidou, the twin brother. And the defense for Somers will be Massarena, Rob Smith, Ryan Shute. And in goal for Somers, number 8, Reed Palmieri. 2 saves in the championship game against Glens Falls. Really not tested much, but he will be tested today by this offense of Shoreham-Wading River. As you look at Palmieri, the senior, next year Paul McQuaid will take over in the cage for Somers. And working the sidelines for today's telecast is Keith Irizarry. Keith, what do you got?
Hal, when you talk about 2 coaches that are just a joy to be around, Tom Rotans and Jim Donahue, 2 guys just got to love being around. We start off with Tom Rotans, the local guy from Long Island, Shoreham-Wading River, and for his team, just an excellent squad. Got a nice victory the other day. And for Tom Rotans, they want to control the ball on offense. Feels like this will be a good way for them to get a victory. On defense, it's John Denelin that'll have the job trying to stop Ryan Rabidou. His team did not get any tape of the Somers squad, so they're going on what they hear from speculation. They're athletic, fast, and aggressive. On the opposing side, it's Jim Donahue of Somers for the Tuskers. In his 5th year, Jim Donahue seems like he's the kind of coach, a Class C coach, kind of happy to be here, but also would love to get a victory. Not a deep team. Feels like the only way they can win this game is they restrict turnovers. For his team, it is the goalie, Reed Palmieri, the team MVP, started as a goaltender since his sophomore year, was an attackman, so I guess you could say that the backstop has been the backbone of this team. That's all from the sideline now. Let's go back up to the booth with you, Hal.
All right, thanks very much, Keith. You know, Carrie, the coaches, they're going to have to control their teams in this championship game. We take a look at the officials who will be controlling the play on the field. The referee, Ed Shriver. Steve Murray is our umpire. Chuck Cohen, the field judge, and the CBO is Mick Dyer. The officials did a great job in the Long Island Championships to let the kids play. And Ed Shriver's crew will have the task today as the Tuskers of the Wildcats battle it out. The winner of this game will advance to the New York State Championship against the winner of Skinny Atlas and Penn Yan. That game being played at Coyne Field in Syracuse this afternoon.
Well, Al, here you have the first key matchup right at the midfield stripe. As you see the 2 face-off men going to go at it 10 against 10. That's Gonzella for Shoreham and Rabidou, Jordan Rabidou for Somers. And this is going to be the key matchup. Somers winning it.
Jordan Rabidou coming up with it, the junior. The 5'7", 160-pounder brings it into the offensive zone, and right away J.P. Lloyd comes off from the sidelines for Somers. Somers wearing the red jerseys on the road with the white numerals. Shoreham-Wading River, the white jerseys with the gold piping and blue lettering. They'll work it on the outside. Let everybody get a feel for the field here. As number 1, John Descoli comes in. Bounce shot, he scores! 33 seconds in, just like that. Somers in front, 1-0.
Well, that was a great bounce shot by number 1, John Descoli. He was defended by Tony Ferrara. Ferrara took away the middle of the field, gave Descoli his left hand, and Descoli just went to the hoop. Here you'll see it. See how he's got it in his left hand? Has no pressure on him, takes that nice bounce shot, and that quickly gives the Tuskers the first opportunity to get on the board.
And we talk about possession and face-offs, how key. Jordan Rabidou winning that face-off, gaining possession. They get the offense on the field just like that. Descoli, who had 3 goals in the game against Glens Falls, he picks up the first goal of this game. And it's Rabidou again on the face-off, but it's checked out of his stick by Donelin. Ball on the turf, battle goes on. Mazarenka tries skipping it up for Somers, out of bounds. Shoreham will get their first possession.
Denelin did a great job coming across off the wing with the pole, created the check on Rabideau, and then created the second check to give the ball over to the Shoreham-Wading River Wildcats. First time they'll have it.
Not much of a ride on the short field as number 11, Jim Lockhart, comes off now for Shoreham-Wading River. He'll be replaced by Mike Wapone with the long pole.
And right now, I would think you're going to see Shoreham-Wading River is really just going to try and possess a little bit here, see what the defense is going to give them. They're not all that familiar with Somers, Hal, and Somers is showing them a zone right now.
Unterstein, the pass to Cervini. Cervini is stopped, loose ball in front. Unterstein comes up with it. That shot off the mask of Palmieri comes out and gives a shot to Ferrara in front, and it's Unterstein picking it up. Working behind the cage.
Shoreham had a real good look at the cage, had a nice shot, put it right at Reed Palmieri. He stood strong in the cage between the pipes.
Cervini with the feed down low. Warner, the shot hits the pipe. Bounces out back to Shoreham-Wading River, and it's Cook. Back up top to Warner.
Boy, did I tell you, Warner found his teammate down low. Or Cervini found Warner down low with a great opportunity. He just hit the pipe, but that was a great look.
Cervini battling one-on-one. The shot goes wide, but they have backer support. As Keith Irizarry reported, Somers, Shoreham-Wading River did not really see anything of Somers. Last night, Shoreham-Wading River, one of the earlier games that they played, some of the kids from Somers were at the coach's house watching the game. Of course, coach wasn't even there. We'll get into that a little later on, as Shaknowski has it go off his stick, but it'll be scooped up by Cervini. Nice stick check there, number 16, with the nice defensive play. Rob Smith, this guy's going to Georgetown next year. He's one of the top defenders in the section. They look to run. It's Jack Garland, number 3. Garland has it checked out of his stick by Cook, and the goaltender DeMarco able to scoop it up and get things going now for Shoreham-Wading River. 19-1. Quickly clearing it into the offensive end of the field, it's Cervini. Number 19, he'll be met there by Mazarenka. Looking for the cutter, nothing there. It bounces through to Warner, who's in the right position. Back up top to Cook. Chris Cook, an all-county player. Over to Warner. Took his eye off it, able to regain. Being spotted there by Jack Garland with the short stick. They look to go behind the cage to Unterstein. Unterstein back to Warner. Warner swings it on the far side. Thought about it. Cervini tries getting close. The double comes. Sweeps it underneath. Underhand shot. That one, too, goes wide as the goalkeeper, Palmieri, went out. But Unterstein back as the backer for Shoreham.
Well, Cervini just saw he had the short stick on him. That was Matt Burke for Somers. And Cervini trying to take advantage of the short stick. Took that left-handed shot with the head down low.
Cook being watched by the long pole of Brian Shute, the vocal leader. This kid, I was in the locker room on the other side of the field before the game. He wasn't even in the locker room. All of a sudden I heard him. He came running in trying to fire up his team. Cervini comes up with a loose ball, looking for some space. In the middle, that shot by Shaknowski goes high. And Shaknowski not happy. He knows he had a good opportunity. Let it slip away.
He sure would like to have that shot back again, Hal. As you said, he's not happy with that one. He had a real good look at the cage. No pressure, right in tight, within 5 yards of the cage, and he put it wide.
Cook starts it up off the whistle. Work it back. Warner, Cervini, Ferrara. Back up top. 10 yards from the cage, Cervini. Taking it behind the net to Warner. To Cook. Looking in front. That feed goes through. And it'll be scooped up by Dinellin at midfield as he rakes it into the offensive zone to Ferrara. Gets away from the check of Mazarenka. Ferrara. Smartest player on the field for Shoreham-Wading River, says the coach, Tom Rotans. Pass in the middle. Cervini with the left hand. He shoots and scores! Liam Cervini has tied it at 1.
Well, Cervini really let that one fly. He got the feed from Chris Cook behind the cage. And what Shoreham-Wading River did very well, they moved the ball very well from behind the cage up top, beat the zone. Cervini had a good look at the cage, and he let that one go. Big shot, hard shot. He has probably the hardest shot on the team. Leading scorer at Shoreham over his career. And he just was an emphatic goal right there to get back at a tie at 1-1.
So it's Cervini from Cook at 4:14. And on the face-off, another face-off win for Jordan Rabideau, who carries it in. Rabideau with the feed cross side. That shot deflected and goes wide. Well, Cervini really had a quiet game on Tuesday night. wasn't as involved, but he kind of took away some of the action. They really did spot him in that Long Island Championship, but I'm sure that Tom Rotans couldn't be too upset about it. He had a lot of other people picking up the pieces for sure.
Absolutely. That last shot, by the way, Hal, was taken by number 16. That was Rob Smith, the defenseman, who came down off the face-off from the wing. He got a good feed from Rabideau off the face-off and had a nice look at the cage.
13, Greg Lewis with the ball, missed about half the season. Still scored over 20 goals in the second half of the year. Over to number 23, Drew Werney. Werney for Somers, goes behind the cage. Being spotted there by Guapone. Looks to feed it out towards the front. Discoli, nothing doing. Nice job by Ferrara, who chases him back behind the cage. He stays right with him, pushes him away from the center. Now the shot there, a scoop shot from the side. Tough shot for Greg Lewis, goes wide. They have backer support.
I'm not real pleased with that shot that Greg Lewis took. He was falling away from the cage, side arm. He was going to pull that shot, and if he did have it on cage, it wasn't going to be hard enough to beat Matt DeMarco.
Werney behind the cage. He's wearing number 23 today. Donnie Satani had been wearing 23. He's out with a broken hand. So it's Werney switched from number 14 to 23 for today's game.
Kevin, watch the backside, Kevin.
Dave Von Voigt, 44 on the defense here as Ryan Rabideau takes it to the cage. Has it forced back. Rabideau able to pick it up over to Discoli.
Ryan Rabideau, number 11.
Discoli with a bounce shot. That goes high and wide. Now, Kerry, these two teams playing today on the turf. Obviously, Shoreham Wading River has played here. On the other side, for Somers, they played their games up at Kingston. On Keats Field at Keats Stadium, rather, at Kingston. It's a turf field, so they should be a little bit familiar, although the turfs can be a little bit different. They come out in warm-ups, they work on stuff like that.
Absolutely. Getting used to this turf here, especially at Hofstra, is a rather unique field. So I do think that is a little bit to the advantage of Shoreham having played their last two games here.
Keats Stadium is relatively new, so the turf should be kind of firm as that shot sails high over the cage by Werney. But it is J.P. Lloyd, number 4, chasing it down to the sidelines where he'll start it up. Lloyd at 5'7", 155, had a big game against Glens Falls, 3 points on 2 goals and an assist. Dinellen staying tight with Ryan Rabideau. That looks like one of the matchups here. Discoli's shot bounces wide. When we talk about John Dinellen, he will stay right with him. All Long Island, all county, 4-year starter. He is just locking up with number 10, Jordan Rabideau.
42.
But right now, it appears that offensively, Somers is looking for Discoli.
And Discoli with that shot. That's got to be about 4 shots so far today. And it is 4 shots for Discoli on the weak side. They look to set him up there.
And he scored on one of those, the very first one, too. We'll notice that they now put up a short stick over on him. See if they can take advantage of that, Somers.
Lloyd tries coming out. Will dish it off to Greg Lewis. Lewis being spotted by Mike Capone with the long pole. Good defense there as he's able to ward it off. Lewis cutting in between. Lewis dodging it. A save there by DeMarco. Loose ball, and it's scooped up by the defense. Liam Gleason.
DeMarco the save.
There's the key ground ball war that's got to be won in order to win this game. Whether you're wearing white or you're wearing red, you got to come up with those ground balls.
Mike Unterstein moving it into the forefront. Shots are even at 8 apiece. Shaknowski.
That was a very good possession for Somers down that last series. How they weren't able to put anything up on the board for it. It was a good really opportunity for them to move the ball.
Werner gets away from shoot. Werner looks for the feet. Cervini, the bounce shot, scooped up neatly by Palmieri, his 3rd stop.
And Cervini wisely looked to go off stick. And Palmieri did a good job getting back and covering it.
Somers looks to run. They get across midfield. Monk with the ball right now. Number 16, that's Rob Smith. He'll give it up to a short ball and Ryan Rabideau. Rabideau will look to go one-on-one with Guapone. He'll take him back behind the cage. Stay low. Gary, you can hear all the voices on the side. Everybody talking it up. Stay with him. Do this, do that. So important.
Absolutely. You need to have that good communication, especially on defense, coming out of your goalie, coming out of your defenseman. They need to have good communication. There's the double. Not able to find the free man.
Ferrara into the offensive zone. This is Werner. Werner looking to get around the outside against Justin Tassoni. He'll pull it back out, give it over to Ferrara. Shoreham will patiently set up the offense with number 16, Chris Cook. Met there by Discoli. Shoreham patient. Unterstein trying to set up the offense, directing traffic. Now takes the top point.
And now you'll notice that Somers has switched into a man-to-man.
Feet across to Shaknowski. Can't come up with it. And now in transition, here come the Tuskers. Rob Smith
picked that one off, anticipated that cross-cage feed, brought it down into the offensive zone. They do like to run.
Lackadaisical pass, and Shaknowski able to take it away. Crosses midfield. Shaknowski. What a game. 6 goals. He had 4 in the county championship in Suffolk, 6 in the Long Island championship, so 10 in the last 2 games, 54 on the season.
He has really stepped up his game. And you know what? You say only a sophomore. At this stage of the season, Al, he is no longer a sophomore. He's playing now as a junior.
Cook sends it behind the net. Werner comes out front. That ball blocked. And now into the long pole of number 25, Brian Shute, the left-handed defender. Going toward the sideline, Cervini and Shute, and it goes over to Shore. Substitutions now for Somers.
Good pressure by the Wildcats, creating that turnover.
And this is quite a story here. Number 2, Drew Mazarenki. Number 3, Jack Garland. Number 15, Anthony DiMatteo. Playing with one arm. He was born with only one limb, but this kid is a special kid, to say the least. Don't be surprised watching him play this game. He's a good coach, a real good player. Out up top, Unterstein working it to Werner. Werner looks to come towards the cage. He's met there. He takes it back behind the net. Shoreham getting very tight to the net there, Terry. You can see they started about 20 yards out. Everything just seemed to get closer to the cage.
So they're stepping closer, especially when they see that zone defense. They're taking their step in on every pass. And the coaches wanted Unterstein to go to the cage on that last series because he was being matched up by the short stick.
So now we'll see Shoreham on the ride as Brian Shute loses the ball. Shute took his eye off it, and it's Shaknowski picking it up and getting back to the cage is Palmieri. Unforced error right there. And another possession for Shoreham. Back up top to Cook. He likes to run the offense from the point. He's one of the captains on this club. Now Cervini. Met there by J.P. Lloyd. Lloyd doing a nice job on Cervini, forcing him wide, makes him throw the pass away as he was looking for Unterstein.
I don't know if Unterstein was looking for him, though. That's where I had the problem. I don't think Unterstein was expecting the pass to come across that field in front of the zone.
So now let's see about the ride this time, as Shaknowski will put pressure on the clear.
Now they changed their ride a little bit. They went now to a 2-up, 1-back zone ride.
Justin Tassone's pass can't be handled by Discoli. Discoli loses it, and now Shoreham looks to break. Unterstein, he had a man Warner ball out of his stick, but it's Dinellan scooping it up for Shoreham.
You're right, he had Warner. I don't think that Unterstein expected Warner to turn his head. Warner did not see him, and tried then to hold back on the pass, and it fell out of the stick, but it was recovered by the Wildcats.
Warner, the team assist leader, with a nice bounce pass over to Chris Cook as they set the offense to Cervini. Back to Cook. Werner will set himself up behind the cage as Unterstein works one-on-one against Lloyd. Behind the net, pass in front, deflected off a stick, and here comes Rob Smith on the run for Somers. Bad pass. They're making a couple of bad passes, mistakes that you just cannot make in a game like this.
Absolutely correct. Having a hard time clearing. I think the Wildcats are doing a very good job riding, exerting a little bit of pressure, and Somers is having a hard time getting the ball into the offensive zone.
22 seconds left in this first quarter. John Discoli for Somers at 33 seconds. Liam Cervini answering at 4:14, and we're tied at 1. Liam Gleason, second-year player for Shoreham. Down to the final 5 seconds. Unterstein will have to make things happen. Unterstein to the cage. Unterstein behind the net, the pass in front, and there's the horn. No shot there. Warner can't get it off in time, and at the end of 12 minutes of play, we are tied at 1. Timeout on the field. The winner of this game advances to the New York State final, the Class C championship here at Hofstra. We're back with second quarter action after this timeout on Cablevision Sports.
Hey, where do you go for your Long Island Ducks?
We're from Riverhead, and we watch the Long Island Ducks on Cablevision Channel 88.
If you can't get enough Long Island Ducks this season, then catch them on Cablevision Sports. Don't miss all the action when the Bridgeport Bluefish take on the Long Island Ducks, Friday, June 14th at 7. Live from Citibank Park. It's not just baseball, it's Atlantic League baseball. Brought to you locally by Marches of Huntington Village.
Only on Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
Do you enjoy living near parks and forests that bring such natural beauty to Long Island? A wildfire can destroy that natural beauty. To protect your home from wildfire, follow these guidelines. Keep firewood and building materials away from your home. Prune trees that connect to the roof or side of the house. And cut grass and weeds regularly.
This is County Executive Bob Gaffney asking everyone in Suffolk County to protect their homes from wildfires by following these guidelines.
Back at Hofstra Stadium, Hempstead, New York, we get ready to start the second quarter of action in the New York State Downstate Championship game. The winner advancing to the New York State Championship against the winner of Skinny Atlas and Penn Yan. And take a look at the ground balls and carry. These are always important. Face-offs and ground balls, they mean possession, they mean opportunities, and it means the other team cannot score.
Absolutely. Shoreham Wading River right now is winning that ground ball war. And the reason that Somers is really involved so far is because of this young man you're looking at, number 10 right now, number 10 for Somers, Jordan Rabideau. He's doing a great job on the face-offs. He's won all 3 face-offs, and there are 3 ground balls.
And there's another face-off. Ball comes into the stick of Jordan Rabideau, but they may call it a ward-off. Let's go downstairs to Keith Irizarry.
Hal, it's not all about the game out here. TV written on the back of the helmets of the Wildcat players. It stands for Tony Verdone. Verdone, a huge supporter of the Wildcats and lacrosse in general. He had a son play for Shoreham who graduated in 2000. Unfortunately, Tony had a stroke in March. He was hospitalized and had some trouble communicating. But if you mention lacrosse lingo, he began moving around. Just goes to show you guys just how important lacrosse can be to some people. Back up to the booth.
Yeah, so true. Unterstein with the bounce shot that goes over the cage. You know, Kerry, you hear that a lot, though. You hear about people that are involved in the game, and, you know, it's just like a former athlete, a professional athlete. You can't get the game out of him. You can't take the game away from these guys.
Absolutely not. It's in your blood. You really, you know, with this as well as I'm sure for any other sport, once you're in it, you know, it's there for life.
Unterstein back to Cook. Cook shifts hands. Looking on the cut there. Warner, he scores! Beautiful cut from behind by Warner, and it's 2-1, 46 seconds into the second quarter.
Absolutely a beautiful cut, like you said, Hal, by Warner. Chris Cook really did a great job beating him, found the seam in that zone, was able to get that ball right in on the stick as Warner came around the crease. It was an excellent opportunity for Shoreham. I like the way they've been playing offensively. Here it is again. There you see Cook with the ball, finds Warner. Now look as he comes around the cage. He gets that shot off real quick, gets it off. He's in tight on Reed Palmieri for that shot for the lead for the first time today for the Wildcats.
The 3-year starter. Coming up again with the face-off is Rabideau. Rabideau getting hassled. Rabideau will take it strong. Rabideau the bounce shot. DeMarco might have got a piece. As Rabideau, there's a face-off victory again, 5-0. Taking the face-off, and that time he's taking it right onto the cage. Ryan Van Hine, number 12 with the ball, 31 goals, 29 assists. He's got 60 points this year. Him and J.P. Lloyd play together real well, and last night, the 2 of them were just hanging out at the coach's house watching tape. As they go to the net, Descoli scores! Where was the defense for Shoreham?
Second goal for Descoli. John Descoli, we talked about him earlier on. He's an all-county player, explosive, very quick. He can shoot on the run, but on that particular instance, you found that he got his goal in tight, in close, against Matt DeMarco. And here he comes in, shooting on the run. Look where he is, right in on the crease. Took 2 men on. He's a great dodger. Showed a face dodge there, protected his stick very well.
Dave Von Voigt, number 44, a little bit late coming over to help out his goalkeeper, Matt DeMarco. Ball on the curve. Mazarenka, number 2, chases it down, checked out of his stick by Dinellin, and it'll go over to Shoreham Wading River, their first face-off victory here with 10:35 to go, and we're tied at 2. Somers and Shoreham Wading River. Substitutions made. the whistle, and we start it back up with Tony Ferrara. Again, very similar offense that they run, Shoreham-Wading River. They set it up very similar. Not too many changes, but eventually get the rotation. Like to do the cutting from behind the cage. Warner back to Sheknowski. Met there by Shute. Sheknowski with the stick in his left hand. Now sends it out to Cook. Being spotted there by DiMatteo. Cook. Cervini.
Shoreham is running just a simple 1-3-2 offense against this zone.
Cervini, it looks like it might have been a pass, and the goalkeeper able to come up with it as Palmieri makes the stop. And now a timeout will be called by Jim Donahue, the fifth-year head coach for the Somers Tuskers. Well, you know, you talk about coaching, and I called him last night at home, and he works for IBM, and Ryan Rabideau was getting an award last night, so he wasn't there. So his wife, Kelly, says, well, maybe I can help. So she starts giving me a little bit of information, telling me a couple of stories here and there. And she says, well, let me let you talk to somebody. Puts me on the phone with J.P. Lloyd, number 4, the first midfielder for Somers. And he's there with Ryan Van Hine, Jack Garland. They're sitting there, they're watching the tape of the Shoreham game from earlier this year. And I said, what are you guys doing? They're like, well, just hanging out. And I'm thinking, I'll tell you, Jim Donahue's got a pretty nice wife. Just let's, the team hang out. He says, look, it's an open house. Do what you want. I said, what are you guys doing? No, just came for dinner, What do you eat? A little junk food, some chicken, some caffeine-free Sprite. I said, this is your pregame meal? They said, well, we're just hanging out, getting loose.
Instead of loading up on carbs, they're loading up on chicken, man.
You know what? They were ready to go, though. They were so loose. And, Jim Donahue, he's been here for 3 straight years, and you just want to get here. Just getting here is an accomplishment in itself. But he would really like to just finally go over the top here. This is a program that's not old. It's only 7 years old, this varsity program. And when you look at how they started out, they really struggled back in 1996 when they first came together, and 7-11 in 98. Things just, progressed, and now look at them the last few years. Brian Shute carries it into the offensive zone, gets the double team. Dinellen with the check there, a flag. We'll have our first man-up opportunity as Dinellen, in trying to stick check him, tripped him up.
We'll get a slash call. I think he caught him in the helmet, so Dinellen will be out for a minute.
So before this penalty, we send it down to Keith Irizarry.
Coming out of that timeout.
Having a little bit of an audio problem downstairs. We'll get to Keith in a bit. As we watch Somers go on the man-up advantage, as Kerry said, 1-minute penalty. We'll see how they set the offense. J.P. Lloyd.
Well, they started in a 3-3, cutting into the 1-3-2. And, of course, having Dinellen out is huge for Shoreham.
Lewis, the pass to Lloyd, he scores! It might have gone off the stick of the defenseman, number 44, Dave Von Voigt, and then just went over the stick of DeMarco.
Well, I'm not sure if it hit the defenseman or just went off the stick of DeMarco and into the goal, but J.P. Lloyd said, I'll take it any way I can get it. Gives the Somers a 3-2 lead. As you'll take a look at it again, see if you can see. There he is in your picture. J.P. Lloyd winds up with the right shot. With the right-handed shot, I think it hit off the stick of the goalie, Matt DeMarco, and went in the cage. The stick was checked. The shooter's stick, Lloyd's, was checked on the shot.
And maybe it was when he was checked on the shot that it deflected and changed direction, because it certainly wasn't a hard shot by the time it got to the goalkeeper, DeMarco. But regardless, it's 3-2 now. Somers, second time they've had the lead in today's game. Ball goes out of bounds. Substitutions made once again as Somers will put on the defensive sticks. Cook will start it up now for Shoreham. Cook met by DiMatteo. Cook swings it into the left hand, goes on far side to Unterstein. Unterstein up in there, back to Cervini, to Cook. Cook will look to move towards the cage, pushed aside, now sends it back behind the net. This is Warner. He can be dangerous back there. Pass out top to Cervini. Cervini rolls to his right. Cervini, thinking about a shot, didn't have it, just bounce passes it, Mark Warner. Warner watched by Shute, now goes to the far side. Justin Tassone picks him up. Out up top to Cervini, immediately pushed. Pass to Cook, can't handle it. Able to pick it up in front of the defender. DiMatteo. Cook. Weak side feed. Unterstein. Can't get the shot. He's been trying to sneak out from the side of the net. Somers doing a good job picking him up. Cook taking it to the cage, slapped away with the stick there by Shute on the feed. That ball is picked off by the defense. Jack Garland, number 3, racing towards center of the field. Garland gets in. Dinellen can't come up with it. And now it's Cervini who comes up with the loose ground ball, throws it into the offensive zone to Cook. He can't handle. Bumped off by Brian Shute, and that ball will roll out of bounds, and the ball goes back over to Somers.
Brian Shute, 25, with the check.
Well, Kerry, is it me, or is there really not much of a flow right now offensively? It's kind of, we've seen a lot of balls on the ground. We've seen a lot of mistakes, a lot of balls just getting picked up. What have you seen so far?
Well, I'll tell you, after the first quarter, I would have said I'm real happy if I'm Tom Rotans. I thought that Shoreham did a real nice job in the first quarter. They moved the ball very well. They had a lot of good shots on the cage, and I would have thought they were real pleased with their play. They haven't been able to get on track in the second quarter. I think they're forcing too much to try to get the ball on the weak side.
DeMarco with the stop on Rob Smith with the long pole. Robidoux comes up with it. Jordan Robidoux. Pass down low. That shot by Lewis fell out of his stick. Ball on the floor. Still got to be picked up, and it's Van Hine coming up with it. Van Hine in front, looking for Lewis. The shot. He scores! Lewis from Van Hine, and it's a 2-goal advantage for Somers.
Well, simply what happened, Van Hine picked up that loose ball. There it is, that big statistic, win the ground balls. Here he is. He comes up with the ground ball. He takes it behind the cage. Now look at the defense. Everybody shifts over. Look at the weak side. And that finds Lewis open right on the crease and has an easy layup put away for Somers for the 2-goal lead. And this is their largest lead of the game up to this point.
2 goals in 54 seconds. 3 goals in 2:23. And it's a 4-2 lead. Now for the Huskers. And again, it's Rabideau coming up with the face-off win.
Rabideau is tough on the face-offs. He is winning them, dominating.
Ferraro picks up the loose ball. Gets met there by Jordan Rabideau. Now gives it over to Cervini. Cervini's got to get a little bit more involved in the offense. He's got big numbers, 62 goals, but he really has not been, actually 63 following the goal today, has not been as active in the scoring. I think they really need to get him more involved. Now Cervini has it here. They look for a cutter, nothing there, as Warner will go back behind the net. Warner position there as it back up top to Cervini. Cervini gets a step. Cervini to the cage. Bounce shot knocked down by Palmieri and into the stick of Rob Smith.
Liam had to step on his defender. He had a good opportunity. Look at the cage. He just took that bounce shot just a little too soft on the stick side.
Here they come again. This is Garland, number 3. Garland with the feed to Rabideau. He scores! Ryan Rabideau from Jack Garland, and it's 5-2. Timeout. Tom Rotans in Shoreham Wading River.
Well, you got to give a lot of credit. Jack Garland, the senior, all-sectional baseball player. You know what's great about this kid? He was all-section baseball last year. He never played lacrosse until this year. Picked up the stick in March. And guess what? He's all-section lacrosse this year. All-state football player as well.
Not only did Garland pick up a stick in March, it was March 3rd, and Kelly Donahue, Jim Donahue's wife, was the one who said, hey, I'll tell you an interesting story. So this is kind of a team that's really been a mix. They've got a lot of young kids, but they've continued to develop the program. And again, 7 years old, this program, and look at how far they have come. And right now, they're exploding as they lead 5-2 with 6:07 to go here in the first half.
Right now in the second quarter, what Shoreham's having problems doing now is being able to be patient on the offense. Now, you notice in the first quarter, they were very patient. They really possessed the ball. They only had 2 or 3 possessions throughout that whole first quarter. In the second quarter so far, they have not been all that patient. As you look at the monitor, as you look at your TV, and you see for the first time, this is Shoreham's first appearance in the Downstate Championships. You know, also I got to think and wonder, you know, they came off a huge win over Cold Spring Harbor. Get off Long Island, and you made a major accomplishment. Psychologically, emotionally, are they coming out flat? Are they not ready for this game after that huge win against Cold Spring Harbor? On the other side, Somers comes down. They're undefeated. They've never won here. They are emotionally pumped. They are up and they're ready. So I wonder emotionally if that's been a factor in this game.
All right, let's check in down on the field with Keith Irizarry.
Coming out of that timeout, Tom Rotans, Shoreham Wading River head coach, told his team to compose themselves, get their bearings, and on defense, they have to start rotating. It's just killing them and leaving too many guys open on the wings. Back up to the booth.
Well, he's got a good point, Tom Rotans, him and his coaching staff. and Mike Delia, who's with him on the sidelines as the assistant coach, because we have seen a lot of passes really on the weak side. Well, not even on the weak side. It's been on the near side. It's been on the weak side, right to the side of the cage. They've been getting the ball down low, and the shots are coming in from in tight. And again, another face-off win. John Kinsella, who we talked about in the Open, who had such a great game against Greg Pisa, being dominated on the face-offs by Jordan Rabadou. Rabadou with a bounce shot there goes wide. And on the other side, Matt DeMarco, he's made a couple of stops, but it's been a real barrage. You got to wonder about his confidence level right now.
Well, again, he's given up a lot of goals in tight, too. Of the 5 goals that Somers has, not too many of them have been from outside.
Lewis over to Discoli, who has 2 goals in the game. Discoli will be watched by Kevin Unterstein. Discoli up top. Shot there goes wide by Lewis.
Now, there was a nice slide by Liam Gleason to help out on Discoli. However, that second slide came across just a little bit too late after the shot was taken. That second slide's got to be there a little sooner.
And, one of the rules in lacrosse is if the ball gets shot and goes behind the net and over the end line, it's whoever is closest to the ball. The shot went wide. There were 2 players for Somers, but it was Kevin Unterstein on the far side. He wasn't even involved in the play, but he ran to the end line, and his hustle puts the ball in the sticks of Shoreham-Wading River. Won't even be noticed, except by Mayfield.
Well, hey, that's a statistic that is very important, and you're right. It doesn't go noticed as much as it should, because that's what gives you the ball. That's what just as much gives you possession as winning those ground balls, and that's just hustle.
Shots are 17 apiece. Shoreham goes on the offense, trailing by 3 with 5 minutes to go. Shaknowski up top. Cook. Shot is blocked by the defender, Mazarenka. Cook battling for the ground ball. Mazarenka helps out and is able to come up with it. A solid defensive player. Tall, 6 foot, 180-pounder, comes up with it. Pass down to Lewis. Knocked out of his stick by Liam Gleason, who recovers for Shoreham. Now we start going end-to-end. Gleason with good speed. Tries carrying it out, gets it across midfield into Savini's stick. Savini being watched there by Rob Smith. Savini with a step, gets checked out of the stick by Smith, and the ball is picked up by DiMatteo, and a timeout taken by Jim Donahue.
Good timeout by Coach Donahue. And again, Rob Smith did a great job on Liam Savini. Liam just hung that stick a little bit, and that's all that Rob Smith needed. He's a great defenseman, and he saw that stick hang, and he just checked it. Created the turnover.
Some of the keys that Somers was concerned about coming into today's game was Shoreham feeding the crease, as we've seen, where they'll set up Warner behind the net. They said they had to watch the slides, which they've also been doing. And Shoreham likes to attack the short sticks, and today I think the short sticks have done a nice job. They really haven't bent. They've bent but not broken, I should say. And they need to shoot a lot. They said one of the things that Somers has to do is shoot on Matt DeMarco. Not to disrespect him, but they saw him on tape. They think maybe he's got a couple of weaknesses that they would like to exploit.
Well, certainly you want to test the goalie. Certainly that's very important. And really, if you can put a couple of goals in early on a goalie, you really might be able to do something to his confidence.
You take a look right there as he heads back to the cage. Reed Palmieri on the other side for Somers. And he's kind of an interesting story. Started the last 3 years. This is a kid who shows up every day. A couple of years ago, his father said, Reed, you do what the coaches want. So one day the coaches said, Reed, we need you to play net. I said, okay. He said he's basically taught himself, though. He has his own technique, kind of a quiet kid, but he gets the job done. And that's really all you can ask for of a goalkeeper. Keep me in the ball game. Give us a chance, and that's what he's been able to do. Ball raked ahead, kept in bounds there for a moment by Von Hein, but now it goes over to Shoreham. Werner. Werner has Unterstein. Unterstein moving in front. Zakowski scores! Oh, pretty goal by Shoreham.
Well, that was just great stick work demonstrated by the Wildcats. And Shaknowski, the young sophomore, who I don't even think we should call him a sophomore anymore. I'm going to call him a junior. He hasn't gotten that report card yet, but he just showed a lot of poise. Unterstein gave him a great look, and he had a wide open net. Shaknowski's not going to miss that one from 5 yards out. Open goal, great stick work. The ride created that. A lot of good hustle at the midfield, coming up with the loose ball, and the transition, broken play, is able to create that goal.
Well, let's see if Shoreham can win a face-off here. They've only won one. 4 minutes in on the motion. The ball goes back over to Somers. Call it a face-off win. Possession for the Tuskers. Dinellen on Rabadou. Rabideau looking to the middle. That pass goes past J.P. Lloyd, and it's scooped up neatly by John Kinsella. Gleason.
Number 10.
Ahead to Warner, can't come up with it. Ball over to Brian Shute. Shute carries it into the offensive zone with the long pole. Pass knocked down by Gleason, but comes over to Ryan Rabideau. Rabideau, the bounce shot with the left hand, and it's stopped by DeMarco, his second. And the ball goes out of bounds, but they have backer support in Ryan Von Hahn.
Ryan Rabideau took that shot driving across the face of the cage to his left and takes the left-handed shot. And there again, you saw him take the right-handed shot.
Shot there by Rabideau, and it was one of those things. The whistle blows, you can start the play. And Ryan Rabideau actually had a little bit of room there. Could have moved toward the cage. Tried to take advantage. Shot went wide, and it was Shoreham who was back. 3:15 to go. We were tied at 1 after 1. But Somers has outscored Shoreham 4-2 here in the second quarter. Lights are turned on at Hofstra. Overcast skies. Temperatures cooling down a bit. Storm on its way towards Long Island. How long will it hold out? How long will these two teams hold out? Something's got to give. Shaknowski over to Cervini. Cervini up top to Cook. Cook smartly pulls it out. Now gives it back to Cervini. Behind the cage, Warner. Warner sends it over. Unterstein back up top to Cook. Not much room there with the long pole of Brian Shute. Ferrara. Ferrara would like to get set up to get the pass and just let it go. Cervini gets a step. Left-hand shot goes wide. Warner back. 2:25 to go in the half.
Cervini very intelligently trying to take advantage of the defenseman. The pole Drew Mazarenka, who fell or slipped on the turf. Could have taken another step or two, I think, also before he got rid of and took that shot.
Ferrara. Cervini in the middle. Having room. Cook with a shot off the pipe. And DiMatteo comes up with it. DiMatteo carries in. Good feed over to Jack Garland as he's met by Cook. Garland gets a step. Garland from 15. Garland from 12 yards out. That shot stopped by DeMarco.
That's the game that Somers wants to play, Hal. They want to play that running gun, wide open lacrosse.
Liam Gleason carries it for Shoreham, but a bad pass trying to hit Chris Unterstein, and it goes out of bounds. Defensive substitutions for Shoreham. Offensive substitutions for Somers.
Uncharacteristic mistake made there by Shoreham with the bad pass, and we've seen it more than once today where they have not connected on their passes. That's uncharacteristic for them. They've really executed very well in their last game against Cold Spring Harbor. They are not executing quite as well up to this point.
So Somers will look to clear. The ball poked out by Dinellen.
Nice
Loose
check.
ball, but it comes free. This is Von Hine. Von Hine in the middle. The shot, they score! Greg Lewis from Von Hine. They connect again for the second time here in the second quarter, and it's now 6-3.
Well, again, I can't emphasize enough, Hal. It's the ground balls. They did a great job. Dinellen does his job. He checks the ball out of the stick, and who comes up with it? None other than Somers, and then they go to the cage. Look at Von Hine. It's the second time he's come up with the ground ball. And look at this. We change hands. Greg Lewis goes from his left hand to his right hand, furthest hand away from the defenders, and was able to have a nice opportunity. Good look at the cage.
Lewis is a finisher, and he was able to finish off right there. As Kinsella finally comes up with a clean face-off victory and sends it back to the goalkeeper, DeMarco, and he'll be pressed there by Ryan Rabideau. DeMarco comes out of the cage. We saw him go all the way downfield the other day. Here's a turnover. The shot just over the cage as Rob Smith intercepted the ball and from 30 yards out took a shot, went over the cage. But, Gary, we talked about it the other night. DeMarco coming out of the cage, going the length of the field, actually had a chance to shoot, gave it up to a teammate. But he could pick up an assist on the play.
And you don't see that happen too much by a goalie. And you really like that as a coach. You like to see an aggressive goal. You like to see a guy who's got, the speed to go out of the cage and get them into transition.
Under a minute to go. 3-goal lead for Somers.
I like what Rob Smith, by the way, did on that last opportunity. He had an opportunity with the open net. Hey, I'm going to go for it, even with the long stick.
All he had to do was get it on the cage, and it would have been a goal.
Absolutely. Great thought.
Barrera up top. Only one flag in this game. Unterstein feeding on the crease. Cervini scores! Cervini from Unterstein, and it's back to a 2-goal game.
Well, Liam Cervini just in a beautiful position right on the crease. And again, Chris Unterstein with that feed on the cross field. Now look at Unterstein finding his open man. Cervini had not a defenseman near him on the crease, and he had an easy put away for Shoreham, and that was a big goal. They really needed to get some momentum back on their side.
I think this is a key face-off right here. You win the face-off, hold possession for the end of the half, possibly score. But if you lose the possession and Somers comes and scores, all of a sudden, 3-goal lead and a deflating lead at that point. Ball on the turf. Gonzaga with that brace on the left leg. See what the call is here?
Timeout. That was a great call. Great call by the coaching staff. Tommy Rotans, Mike Delia. They just do a great job on the sidelines. Great X's and O's guys. And they're also excellent lacrosse players in their own right.
There's a look at Rob Smith. Heading to Georgetown following his seniors campaign. 6-foot, 200-pounder. When you talk defense with Jim Donahue, the name Rob Smith immediately jumps out. So Tom Rotans will talk to his club. Jim Donahue will speak to his. In the final 24 seconds.
No problem. Any type of transit, get you guys locked in and then send me triangle. Let them pull it out. Did I go okay?
It's always interesting, Kerry, the way teams today, you have one offensive coach, you have one defensive coach. You're the head coach, but you probably handle one of the responsibilities, and the teams kind of break into little circles. It's like group play.
Exactly. It's exactly correct. You saw Tommy Rotans. He played defense in high school and college, and Mike Delia, he was an attackman in high school and college. So Delia takes the offensive guys, and Rotans takes the defensive guys, and you do your thing.
Cervini with 2 goals. Cook and Unterstein 2 assists apiece. Well, there's Shaq. He's got 1 goal today following that big performance in the Long Island Championships. The officials set everybody on the field. Coaching staff's yelling at each team. Rotan's telling everybody come a little bit closer. We watch the ride here as a quick double team will take place on Chris Cook.
Now 24 seconds is enough time, and we see a flag being thrown.
Now we'll see what it is. They're trying to set everything up. Do they have too many players on the field? 2, 4, 6. I see 6 in the on the defensive zone. I see 3. They're counting it up. Kerry, what do you teach?
I don't teach math, but I can count to 10. I don't know what the flag was for, to be honest. Even if they had too many men on the field, Hal, the official is supposed to count before he gives the whistle, and if there are too many players, get one off. But that was not the case. Neither team had too many players, just an inadvertent flag, which happens.
And Jim Donahue kindly went over and picked it up, gave it to the official. So we're down to 10 seconds. Shoreham trailing by 4. This is Cook. To Shaknowski, down to 6 seconds. On the cut, the shot, and it goes wide. But they come up with the rebound. Warner with 2 seconds. 1 second, they won't be able to get off a shot. And we're going to end the half trailing by 2. Shoreham to Somers.
But they did have a good look at the cage, and that's what was important. They almost had one to put it in at the end of the half.
6-4 the score. The winner advances to the New York State Championship game on this field on June 8th. As we check in here, the thoughts of Coach Jim Donahue with Somers. He's with Keith Irizarry.
Coach, you got the lead in the first half. You told me what was important about this game. You didn't necessarily mention experience. How important has that been for your team over Shoreham Wading River?
Well, I don't know how much experience we have, but we do have some kids that have been here for the last 2 years. It's the 3rd year. I don't think they're nervous. I think we're throwing the ball around a little too much. We had 2 screwed up clears that cost us goals, so hopefully we can shore that up when we get in.
Coach, a 6-4 lead. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you very much, and have a good day.
Coach Jim Donahue's got the 6-4 lead. We go back up to the booth. Hal Sass has it.
All right, 6-4 the score. Lots more coming up here from Hofstra. Jimmy Cavallo in our halftime report. You're watching a good one here. Somers leading by the score, 6-4. Carrie Gluck joins Jimmy right after this timeout on Cablevision Sports.
Adelph, I never feel lost in the crowd.
We were losing by a goal with 19 seconds to go in the second overtime period and ended up scoring the tying goal with 13 seconds and the winning goal with 6 seconds to go. So we scored 2 goals in 19 seconds to win a game which everyone thought was over. We didn't give up. We kept playing hard and ended up winning the game.
Catch it on Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
Back at halftime, the Class C state semifinal advantage goes to Westchester so far. Somers with a 6-4 lead over Shoreham-Wading River. Jimmy Cavallo along with Carrie Gluck down here at the end zone at Hofstra. And Carrie Gluck really for me in the first half, 3 elements. John Discoli sets the tone for Somers, scores 33 seconds into the game. Liam Cervani scores with 33 seconds for Shoreham-Wading River in the second half before the second quarter ended. But really for Somers, 4 goals in under 4 minutes in that second quarter. That's the 2-goal lead they have now.
Well, that was a key move for that Somers team. That was momentum. Very critical for this Somers team. They were able to establish their offense. They dominated in the ground ball war. I think that was very, very important. I like the way they played. Their offense moved the ball very well. They were patient on offense.
Speaking of ground balls, let's look inside the numbers, the stat page coming at you here at halftime in this boys Class C. There's your score, 6-4 face-offs. Look at Somers doing the job, 9-2, Carrie Gluck.
Well, that is the key right there. I like that face-off. The kid Rabidou is doing an outstanding job against Conzella, the face-off kid for Shoreham. He had an outstanding game the other day against Cold Spring Harbor and the outstanding Greg Pizer. But today it is all Rabidou, all Somers. And it is this kid Rabidou who is able to maintain the possession, gets them into the offense, and what more important than that, it keeps Conzella on the field. He's now got to play a little bit of defense. And he is not that mobile. He's not that quick.
You asked for Ryan Rabidou, Carrie Gluck. We give you Ryan Rabidou, the prime timer. It was a 4-2 game in the second quarter. Somers just really bringing down in this 4-goal spurt. Here he is splitting the pipes.
And what a nice opportunity. No pressure. You'll see the defense for Shoreham-Wading River not to be found. And he has a nice look at the cage with no pressure. He's not going to miss it.
And here's Greg Lewis. Shoreham-Wading River made it 5-3, but Lewis makes it 6-3.
Again, you saw the move of the defense. It was Von Hein. Key element coming up with the ground ball. He's able to find Lewis on the weak side. His defense, again, a little slow to get over to the ball, and Lewis has a nice look at the cage.
Shoreham-Wading River would see this game 1-1 at the end of the first quarter, but as they started the second quarter, Mark Warner would break through.
And yes, Mark Warner has done a really nice job. Here it is, driving around the cage. He is the quarterback of their offense. He drives hard around the cage and is able to finish that one off.
And the guy they need, the Shack Attack, Lee Shacknowski. It was 5-2, make it 5-3.
And Shack picking up right where he left off the other day, 6 goals the other day. He comes in, scores a big one for the Wildcats, and they are now back in the game. They are trailing only by 2 at the half.
The Wildcats need a Shack Attack in the second half. Carrie Gluck going back upstairs with Hal Sass. We are just halfway through. 24 minutes to go in the Class C. Only one of these teams moves on to the state final. Come on back. Third quarter straight ahead. This, my friend.
Hello, I am the SLA 3000. I function as CEO of Compudom. Back in the year 2001, Compudom installed LightPath's voice, data, and internet services, enabling me to evolve. Today, with the help of LightPath's fiber optic communications network, Compudom is able to dominate the market. Ha ha. Thanks, LightPath.
2 heroes.
I always get a happy, tingly feeling when I see those guys.
1 heroic night.
It's the way to meet girls. Yeah, whatever.
Brand new seasons of Farscape and Stargate SG-1. Sci-Fi Friday, beginning June 7th, only on Sci-Fi Channel.
Don't miss a brand new season of Farscape and Stargate SG-1, beginning June 7th. Sci-Fi Fridays. Watch it on Cablevision.
Third quarter about to start. Winner of the Downstate Championship advances to Saturday's New York State Championship game in the Class C. And on the face-off, a violation. And the ball goes over to Somers as Ryan Rabidou continues his dominance on the face-offs. 10-2 now. Somers in front on the face-off battle, and they go to work. John Discoli with a pair of goals, leading the way for Somers in that first half. Along with Greg Lewis, he also had a pair. Somers will start out behind the cage. Swing the ball around behind. Behind to Descoli, being watched there by Unterstein. Descoli with the left hand. That ball blocked by the defensive Farrar, but it's picked back up by Descoli.
John Descoli.
Shoreham playing man-to-man. Descoli taking it back behind the cage, gives it up. This is Robidoux, Ryan Robidoux, one of the twins. In front, that shot knocked away as Von Hein tried taking it strong to the cage, and it's picked up by Dinellen. Dinellen to Unterstein. Unterstein, they come 3-on-3. Now the defensive players get back now for Somers, and Unterstein slows it down as he lets his offense get together. And a whistle, and a violation. The ball goes over to Somers as we check in with Keith Irizarry.
They caught up with Tom Rotans coming out of the half. He's happy with his team. He's happy that they're played hard, but they haven't played smart. Somers has been everything they expected, a skilled team, fast, aggressive, and athletic. He thinks that turnovers have just been killer for his team, and most importantly, they have to start breaking this zone. They'll work some kind of overload in the offensive sets. Back up to you.
Well, turnovers will play a key. Face-offs, ground balls, possession plays a key. Championship games, you've got to bring your A game, even if it is a Class C championship that you're playing for. Got to bring the A. Behind the net, Drew Werney. Nice battle there with Unterstein. The pass out front gets by Greg Lewis. And trying to rake it ahead, and missing is Justin Tassone. And the ball goes over to Shoreham, who looked to start up quickly.
Well, Tassone just stepped off sides. I don't even think he had a clue as to where the offside was on that. The midfield was, and was about 5 yards over the midfield stripe. So the loose ball technical will give the ball over to the Wildcats, and their first possession, really, I think, of the second half.
And it'll be Cook starting things off. 6'2", 190-pound senior. Getting forced towards the near sideline. Able to keep it in bounds and move it up front. This is Cook, watched by DiMatteo. Go behind the cage to Werner. Werner loves working back there. To Chris Unterstein. 2 assists in that first half. Bounce shot goes over the cage.
Chris had a nice shot there. He took that shot, bounced it too far in front of the crease. You know, as you take your bounce shots, you want to try and place those shots as close to the circle, the crease, as you can. That one happened to get away from Chris. Bounced it a little bit too soon.
Back up top, Cook to Unterstein. Chris Unterstein to the middle. Unterstein shot, score on the bounce shot. Unterstein from Ferrara, and it's a 1-goal game.
Well, you saw that bounce shot. Much better placement, closer to the crease area and back over the shoulder of Reed Palmieri. You saw Chris now. Unterstein drives to his right, protects the stick well. There you see. Nice bounce shot over the shoulder, and here's another look at it as you see it from behind the cage. Great placement just off the pipe on the stick side of Reed Palmieri.
And 2:12 into the second half. It's now a 1-goal game. Chris Unterstein picking up the goal. On the face-off, it's Jordan Rabideau with the face-off win. Up to Smith with the long pole in the offensive zone as he looks to put it in the short stick, and he does, of Jordan Rabideau. Rabideau over to Mazarenka. Mazarenka kicking around. This is Greg Lewis. They look to set the offense. Ryan Rabideau, number 11, behind the cage, being watched by Davon Voigt. So he cannot have the pass thrown to him, and it's taken away by Ferrara neatly on the steal.
Well, you know what happened? Somers got caught. They had 2 players changing on the fly, so it was 6-on-4, so the Wildcats doubled the ball.
Shaknowski's in the cage. He shoots, he scores! And we're tied at 6. The Shaq attack.
And the Wildcats come out roaring in the second half. Shaknowski going just to the cage. Protects his stick very, very well, and he got a great shot. He takes it down low. Again, picking up where he left off. Here it is again on your replay. Look how the stick's in the right hand, away from the defender, and then switches to the left hand to get more angle on the goal. Great job. Here it is. Watch it again. Changing the hands right here. Goes with the left hand.
Now, what a great job, too, switching the stick there, having the senses there to bring it to the left hand to get the shot off, and he's able to bang it home. Tied at 6 now. Rabideau again with a face-off victory. Ball checked out of his stick, and it falls into the stick of Rob Smith. Smith being watched by Dinellen. Smith will take it to the cage. Smith a shot off the stick handle of the goalkeeper, DeMarco, in his 4th save.
Well, again, Smith saw this earlier on in the game.
That's a big save right there. You just come back, 2 goals, 40 seconds apart to tie it to start the second half. And on the stick check, right before the stick check, Jim Donahue calls timeout.
And that was a very smart timeout. He knew that his player was under pressure there, and it was just a matter of a few moments before he was going to lose the ball. Rather than give up the possession, you can see how important possessions are, how you don't want to give up the ball if you don't have to. And Jim Donahue taking advantage of that situation by calling the timeout and maintaining the possession rather than risk giving it up. They lost the possession last time, and what happened very simply was Wildcats come down and score a goal.
Well, you know, Kerry, you talk about coaching and how you utilize your timeouts. You only get 2. Here we are, we're 3 minutes and 20 seconds into the second half. They've already used one of their timeouts. And as I look on the sideline now, you're always coaching. John Gonzella, who struggled on the faceoffs, is on the sideline right now with the coaching staff as they're trying to help come up with a way possibly to win some more faceoffs.
Yeah, well, that's been very critical. Rabideau has been really in control off of the faceoffs, so they're trying to just work on another type of a move. Now, whether or not Rabideau is beating him with a rake or whether he's beating him on quickness, Gonzella's going to have to nullify that move.
J.P. Lloyd taking it to the middle where he is crunched and the ball is picked up by Shoreham. Ball over to the sidelines, raked inbounds, and it's Guapone coming up with it. Now it's back on the turf. Loose ball and able to come away is Shoreham, as it was Mike Unterstein. Loose ball still. Nobody really having clean possession here. And now it looks like Shoreham will come up with it, and they do. Chris Unterstein, who looks to take it strong to the cage as he met there by J.P. Lloyd. Unterstein battles through, the shot just wide.
Splits the defense with a nice dodge and gets that nice shot off just wide of the cage. Again, I like the way right now Shoreham is really going to the hoop, and I like the way they're controlling the tempo of this game. They've picked up the tempo a little bit, which I don't know if that was the intentions, but right now it's really working in their behalf.
So Shoreham looks to take the lead. They haven't led since 2-1 on Mark Warner's goal. Go behind the cage. Cervini looking for the cutter. Chris Unterstein, nothing there.
Somers switching into a man-to-man defense right now.
Work at Cervini, looking for the cutter. Ferrara, the shot, he scores! Tony Ferrara gives Shoreham the lead.
Well, Ferrara just got a step on Brian Shute, the senior defenseman for Somers. Driving to his right, he had a look shoot back over his shoulder and had a nice placement. Here it is again. Here's Unterstein with the ball. And here comes Ferrara in your picture. He has a step on Shute, and he takes that one-step shot, quick release. And that was a nice play by Shoreham Wading River, the all-county player, Ferrara, who's big, he's tough, and he is a 3-year starter for the Wildcats.
Cervini with a beautiful pass gets the assist. So Wading River has rattled off 4 straight goals. 3 here in the second half, and they lead at 7-6. Mazarenka with the long pole met by Dinellen. Flag is down. We will have a man-up situation for Somers on the whistle. To the cage. Moving close is Garland. He's checked away, and now the whistle blows, and a man-up situation will be upcoming for Somers. We'll see if it's a 30 or a 60. It's a 1-minute slash. It's a 60-second penalty, and Somers will go man-up where they're 1-for-1. J.P. Lloyd scoring on the man-up advantage earlier.
I think this might even be the first 1-minute penalty for Somers. I thought they might have had a 30-second technical, but this is their second opportunity. Able to capitalize the last time. Whether or not they were able to capitalize once again, we'll take a look.
It's a big situation for Somers. Trying to have the game a little bit in control heading into the half, having led 6-3. But Shoreham Wading River with 4 consecutive goals, the 1-goal lead. Somers like to change the momentum of this game. Rabideau over the shot there by Lewis is blocked, and it's scooped up, almost given away in front. And on the clear. Nice play by Ferrara. 2 players for Somers collide, able to get back up. Throwing it across midfield, looking for a man. Warner tries slapping it forward. Won't go. Justin Tassone comes up with it now for Somers as they look to run with the man advantage.
Tony, go upside, Tony.
They give it over to Greg Lewis, 13. Over to Jordan Rabideau, number 10. Rabideau has a step. Rabideau, the shot And it's stopped there by DeMarco, who runs out trying to get the rebound and rakes it out of bounds. Smart play with 2 defenders right on him.
Well, Jordan Rabideau takes that shot, and you'll see it goes high on Matt DeMarco. Watch it again. Here it is. Great camera right there, looking right behind Jordan Rabideau. It was off to the little bit stick side, but it was high, and we were able to see DeMarco come up with that big save.
Rick Hancock, number 22, a man-down specialist on the field now for Shoreham Wading River. As the penalty time has expired, 1 for 2 now, Somers on the man up, and a big kill there as Hancock, the specialist, heads off.
And Somers making an unforced error, throwing that ball away with the possession. That was unfortunate for Somers.
Cervini to Cook. Cook spins, dodge move, loses control. Battle for the loose ball. Scooped up here. Unterstein, the shot right on, and it's knocked down by Palmieri.
Again, Chris Unterstein took his shot right into the body of Reed Palmieri. Not a hard shot.
6 saves for Palmieri.
Palmieri coming out of the cage very well, getting them into transition.
Azarenka leads the rush. On the cut, shot in front for Lewis, and that one is blocked.
Liam Gleason getting over there just in time to block that shot because there was a great opportunity right there for Somers.
Lewis 4 goals against Glens Falls. Looking to get another one here. He's got 2 today. Lewis heading to the cage with the left hand, looking for the feed, and it's knocked away. Guapone might have got a piece.
Well, the official saying it hit off a Shoreham stick, so the Somers team will maintain possession. The Tuskers.
Tom Rotan's talking to the official. Come on, it never touched us. Come on.
All right, Hal, here's a question for you.
All right.
What's a Tusker?
An extension of a Fleetwood Mac song. Tusk.
Well, I thought you were going to tell me the tusk of an elephant.
Honestly, Kerry, I do not know.
Oh, okay. I don't feel so bad then.
Somers goes on the attack. That shot knocked down as Discoli looks for the hat trick, and he is stopped. Hitting starting to pick up. That ball off of Lloyd. He'll try to track it down. Will they be able to keep it in? And they cannot. And the ball over to Shoreham Wading River.
Good hustle, though, by the 2 Somers players. Hustling for that ball, J.P. Lloyd.
You know, Kerry, next time on Saturday, I will look up what a Tusker is, and I will get back to you.
We'll have to report out.
And I will check every team mascot that is playing, and I will have it for you. I guarantee.
You are a man of your word. I know that.
I am computer congenial. I will figure it out.
As opposed to your partner here.
Ground ball's even, but it's been the face-offs that's led the way, and it's been really just the offensive pressure put on here in the third quarter.
23-23, you're right, even, but it's been the face-off ground balls that have really allowed Somers to bring it up to 23.
Kevin Unterstein gives it over on the far side to Shaknowski. Met there by Rob Smith. Shaknowski takes a hit, flag down on the cross-check. Shoreham will go man up for the first time today on the whistle. Shaknowski brings it behind the cage to Cervini. On front, Ferrara from Cervini.
Cervini inverts, goes behind the cage. Now the question is whether or not they're going to call a cross-check or they're going to call a push with possession. They're calling a push with possession. It'll nullify the penalty. But let's take a look at the goal. What a nice feed from Cervini. Here you see the ball goes behind the cage. Cervini has inverted. And he's got the pole behind the cage, and he finds his partner, his teammate, who scored the last goal as well, Tony Ferrara, the junior all-county player, giving the Wildcats the 2-goal lead.
Not only is it the second consecutive goal, it's the second consecutive setup and conversion right there. As Ferrara able to slam it home on the pass from Liam Cervini. Cervini really picking play up. I said he hadn't picked it up 60-some-odd goals coming into this match. And he's really starting to get it going on the offensive end.
And remember, we are now still even. That goal wipes out the technical penalty.
Jordan Rabideau. Rabideau looking in the middle for a cutter. Behind the back shot. And that one stopped there. There's Ryan Rabideau with the release.
Again, look at the hustle by these guys. Both these 2 teams know how important every possession is. Dascoli throwing himself at the end line, trying to get the ball. Rabideau with the behind-the-back shot, trying to see if they can catch Matt DeMarco by surprise.
Shot right on, possibly taken away there as the defense collapses on Drew Werney, number 23. Now Lloyd will look to go one-on-one. Against Unterstein, nothing there. Gives it up to Rabideau. Jordan Rabideau, number 10. His brother Ryan sets up behind the cage. Jordan. Double team comes in front. Misses the connection there with Lloyd. And on the loose ball, we'll see who can gain possession at midfield. Kick forward, but an offside call. It goes over to Shore. Quickly starting up to Cervini. To Warner. Far side, Cheknowski looking for Cervini on the cut. And the ball deflected off of the defender, Rob Smith, and into the stick of Reed Palmieri, the goalkeeper. So Palmieri with the ground ball gives it up to Justin Tassoni. Only started playing lacrosse 2 years ago. So Tassoni, you know, another one of those kids just decided, hey, I'm going to learn how to play, and here he is today. Garland on the rush. Garland forced by Ferrara from behind, forcing the shot, and it goes wide. Rabideau is back.
That was a nice clear, I thought, by Somers. And, of course, it all started back with Reed Palmieri. He's very calm, very poised in the goal as well as out of the goal.
Drew Werney with the ball. Left hand over to the far side. That shot goes wide. Again, they've been setting up on the far side. Ryan Rabideau.
Ryan Rabideau, the shooter.
Who they talk about having some great shot placement. This kid can pick his spot anytime he wants. That shot from a tough angle goes wide, as Somers now out shooting Shoreham Wading River 32-27. This is Werney. Boy, Werney's had a tough time. Where's that brace on the right knee? Tore his ACL. Last year had surgery, and then during the winter actually tore it again. Has not had surgery on it for a second time. He's playing through it. There's a ball loose. Werney can't come up with it, and the goalkeeper does and looks to set the transition here. A nice catch by Unterstein, taking the outlet feed by DeMarco.
Nice feed by DeMarco. What I liked what Shoreham did down there, Hal, they played excellent defense. They slid, they doubled up the ball, made that second slide right on time. Did not allow Somers to have any look at the cage.
Ferrara, who's connected twice here in the quarter on feeds by Cervini. Down to 1 minute to go here in the third quarter, and it's been all Shoreham. 4 goals here in the third. 5 straight. They lead by 2. Very patient offense here. You know, Kerry, it almost looks like they almost want to hold it just for the last shot here of the quarter. If they get the good opportunity, take it to the cage. If not, eat up some time, try to get a good look, as Shoreham scored 4 goals on 6 shots here in the third.
Well, they are a very patient offensive team, Hal. We know that they can take time off the clock. They are looking, they are moving the ball around the perimeter.
They've held it for 40 seconds. Cheknowski, clock down at 25. Cheknowski pushed away by Smith, goes back behind the cage. Cervini to Unterstein. Now to Cook. And out of the box. And the ball goes over to Somers. Big possession here in the final 15.
Now what the official did was told them they had to keep it in the box, so they couldn't put on a stall, and as soon as he stepped out, it's a turnover.
Final 8 seconds. Von Hein to the cage. That shot knocked down. And on the floor, Cook comes up with it, and a whistle, and a crease violation. So with 2 seconds to go, Somers will get the ball back. We'll see where they started up. They're only going to start it about 10 yards away from the cage.
Right, well, what happened was Chris Cook stepped in the cage, in the crease to get the ball
on the whistle,
out, and then back in.
On the whistle, they get the ball into Lloyd, but his weak shot is stopped by the goalkeeper, Matt DeMarco. So Shoreham Wading River tilts the field here in the third quarter. They score 4 goals, 5 consecutive for the Wildcats. They lead by 2 as we head into the final 12 minutes.
Adelphi have a life on and off campus.
We were losing by a goal with 19 seconds to go in the second overtime period, and ended up scoring the tying goal with 13 seconds and the winning goal with 6 seconds to go. So we scored 2 goals in 19 seconds to win a game which everyone thought was over. We didn't give up. We kept playing hard and ended up winning the game.
Catch it on Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
36 minutes in the book, 12 more minutes to determine which team will win the Downstate Championship and advance to the New York State Finals. Hal Sass, Kerry Gluck, Keith Irizarry, Jimmy Cavallo, our Cablevision Sports crew bringing you the action from Hofstra Stadium here in Hempstead, New York. Well, Sheknowski, 6 goals in the win against Cold Spring Harbor. He's got 2 here. Second goal tied the game at 6, and then at Ferrara from Sylvania twice. And it's 8-6 Cold Shoreham Wading River.
Well, you know what I liked about that third quarter for Shoreham? They seemed to play with more intensity, Hal. They showed much more intensity. They were much more aggressive going to the cage than they were in the second quarter, when I think they really got a little bit into a lull.
That's a good point. They did. You know, maybe it's a little feeling out process. You really don't know much about the other team. Somers came out pretty aggressively. But really, that third quarter, I don't know what was said in the locker room by Tom Rotens, but whatever it was, bottle it, sell it to the other schools. You make some money.
You don't want to give it away. You don't want to give it away. It'll come back to haunt you.
Hey, guess what? Another face-off win for Jordan Robidoux.
Boy, we knew he was good, but, wow, I don't think we or Shoreham or anyone knew he was this good.
You know, it's hard to imagine after what happened to Gonzalez. Look at that face-off victory, that 15 of 18 face-offs that they have come up with possession after the job he did on Greg Pizer and Cold Spring Harbor.
That's just incredible, facing off by Rapido.
To the cage, the scrappy Dodger, Discoli. His shot bounces over the cage.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of shooting right now by Somers. They're going to really try and put some pressure on DeMarco.
Von Hine trying to get past Dinellen. Von Hine finds a man. That shot goes wide by Lewis. And again, Kerry, this time they were closing in on the net as we check in with Keith Irizarry.
Hey guys, Tom Rotans, no stranger to championship games, not as a coach, but as a player. In 1977, a defenseman for Ward Melville, Rotans played in the state championship versus Elmont. Ward Melville outshot Elmont, but just could not get those timely goals. Rotans told his team to leave everything out on the field, as he often finds that it haunts him because he lost that big game. One more thing for you guys. You guys were talking about Somers. Well, Somers is where the circus was born. Elephants have become the town mascot. There's an elephant hotel in town, and Somers is all about elephants. So there you go. That's how the mascot came to be named. Back to you.
Well, thanks for doing my homework. A big situation now coming up for Shoreham, as they had a great opportunity. Sheknowski shooting it wide on an open net as a flag was down. We're going to take a look here. One flag was down. They were going to go man up, and you'll see Sheknowski on the pass from Unterstein missing the net here.
But he takes the late hit, and that's the second penalty. First penalty is going to be a slash on the far side of the field. Second penalty is going to be on the near side on that late hit that we saw on the replay.
So this is
2 men down.
Huge opportunity. Shoreham 0 for 1. As 22, Justin Tassone comes to the sideline as he switches sticks with Brian Rabideau, and Rabideau just take that long pole and head in as they will try to kill off this 2-man advantage. And unlike hockey, if they were to score on the penalties, both players would be released, so it's not like they can score quickly, still have the man advantage, and score again. But right now, a big opportunity with 10:51 to go, a chance to open it up to a 3-goal lead.
Cross-check penalty was what was called on that second one rather than the a late hit. So it's a cross-check slash, just for those keeping their own stats at home.
As so many of you do. They go behind the net. Cervini to Unterstein. Big opportunity right here to really put a nail in the coffin.
They're in a 1-3-2. Shoreham playing 1-3-2 against the box rotation. 2 men down. When you're playing man down, 2 men, you got to play a little bit of a box. And what you really want to try and do is give away a perimeter. You don't want to give away an inside shot. You want to let them take the shot from the outside and just hope that your keeper can make the save.
Sheknowski with a nice save there. The ball would have been lost. Sheknowski, 17 yards out, over to Cook. Cook, back to Sheknowski. Now they work it down low. Nothing there. Warner sends it back out. Sheknowski to Cook. To Unterstein. Unterstein, cross-court feed, he scores! Mark Warner! A man-up goal, and it's now 9-6.
Well, that was nice ball movement by Shoreham. Certainly they were not under a lot of pressure being 2 men down. And you'll see Chris Unterstein makes, again, a great feed. Finally, Mark Warner. Here you see Unterstein with the ball in his stick right there, makes that cross-cage feed. And there's Warner sitting on the doorstep, as he's done, the quarterback of this offensive team for Shoreham.
and he's able to come up with the goal, a big one.
Unterstein's third assist, 4th point of the game. And on the face-off, it's Rabideau. So the 2 penalties putting Somers in a hole. And Shoreham-Wading River taking advantage. Down low, here's an opportunity as Rabideau shoots it wide. And he's got his hands on his head saying, oh, how do I miss that one?
And he's got to be upset with himself. He's got to get that one in the cage. You cannot afford to miss that kind of a shot when you're 3 goals down to this Shoreham team.
Heading to the cage. Nice move there by Lewis and a big stop by DeMarco.
Huge, because Lewis had his man beat and had a nice shot. Left hand, he took it. Not a hard shot, which made it a little bit easier for DeMarco.
DeMarco coming up with a big stop right there. Had a big couple of games earlier against Wantagh, Comstock. Come up big in the big games. None bigger than this one today. As they go to the net, Von Hein has it checked away. Defensive intensity picking up for Shoreham-Wading River as Cook comes up with it, but he turns it over. Here's a shot that goes just wide by Lewis.
Lewis quick to get that ball off, hoping to catch DeMarco out of the cage. But again, it was just a little bit of a lackadaisical, lack of intensity play by the Shoreham defense to give that ball up to Lewis.
So Shoreham takes over. Well, Somers has now gone 16 minutes, 27 seconds and counting. Scoreless. They have not had a goal since Lewis scored his second of the game at 10:33 of the second quarter. So the defense has certainly put its clamps on since that last goal, as they have held Somers scoreless in the second half.
Now you'll notice right now Shoreham has opened it up a little bit, playing like a circle offense.
Shaknowski one-on-one. Smith with the poke check. There's a rebound that comes loose and a shot right on. And Palmieri comes up with his 7th save. And he'll rush it out on the clear to midfield to Mazarenka. Mazarenka with the pass. It gets through, and coming out of the cage is DeMarco for Shoreham. Just tries throwing it away, and I believe a timeout might have been called.
Yep, it was a timeout. You are correct. All the way back there is saying when DeMarco had the ball is when they called timeout. So with 8:12 to go in the game, Shoreham calls a timeout.
Well, on such a pressured ride, it was a good opportunity right there as DeMarco came out of the crease. But the third quarter, look at that, no goals in the third quarter. Doing the job in the cage for Shoreham-Wading River. And, you know, a goaltender can steal you a game, but a goaltender maybe doesn't win it for you, but he keeps you in a game.
Absolutely.
And DeMarco certainly, I think, did that in that third quarter.
Absolutely. I think his defense picked it up a little bit as well in the third quarter. So, I mean, as much as we like to give credit to DeMarco, I think you also have to give credit to those Poles that are sitting in front of him, because I thought they picked up their intensity, they picked up their whole game attitude in that third quarter. And it was important. They were trailing by 2 at the half. It was 6-4, if I'm not mistaken, at the half. And we haven't seen Somers really have much to shoot at since that time.
You know, you think about Shoreham-Wading River, you know, this is really one of those seasons. You go back to April 6th of this year, the first game of the of the year. Who do you go up and play? You know, you got a young program. They've kind of gotten better over the years. You go up and you play Wantagh, the defending state champ, in the first game of the year, and they win 11-10 in that game. Unterstein with 3, Cervini with 3 goals, Shaknowski and Warner with a pair each. They went in against a very tough team, obviously.
Well, they were the defending state champions.
And they showed them, hey, we're going to be reckoned with, and here they are, 8 minutes and 12 seconds away from advancing to the New York State Final. So other than the face-offs in this game, which have been dominated by Somers, 15-3.
Somers had put on a 10-man ride on that last sequence as Shoreham was clearing and caused the turnover.
Loose ball comes to Jack Garland, rather. Garland working one-on-one against Mike Unterstein. Garland will give it up. Into the stick of Rabideau. This guy is a finisher. Small, 5'6", 140-pounder.
This is an important possession right now for the Tuskers.
Rolling around, the double comes over, and Rabideau peels off. He met there by Guapone, so he sends it out up top. Discoli with 2 goals in the first half. Discoli, left-hand bounce shot, and DeMarco able to come up with it. And look to run. And they do in the hands of Cook as he crosses midfield, being chased by Discoli from behind.
That was almost a replica of the first goal that Discoli scored right off the face-off, taking it with his left hand, driving the cage.
Warner to Cervini coming off the bench, down low. Switching hands back to Cervini. Man down on the side of the net. Right there is Unterstein. Unterstein to the cage. He scores! Unterstein from Cervini. And it's 10-6.
Hold on, I think we might be looking at a champ. Liam Cervini finds Unterstein on the crease. Now again, Cervini had possession of the ball. Unterstein is waving his stick because he was open. The zone has shifted over. Here it is on your replay. Now look how wide open for the moment Unterstein is. The defender comes in a little bit too late, and Unterstein is tight. He gets a shot off against Reed Palmieri from about 4 yards off the crease, and he finishes it. He's not going to miss it. Unterstein, the high school All-American, who's big. He's got great size at 6'2". He's quick first step. Coming right here to play on this turf next year for Hofstra.
Rabideau was pushed down. Ball will go over to Rabideau and the Somers Tuskers. Boy, Unterstein, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points. Cervini, 2 and 3. So they have stepped up their games, as well as a couple of other players really just getting on the board. Cook with 2 assists. So really, the guys that needed to step up in this game certainly have. Ferrara, Cervini, Warner, everybody getting their job done today. Trying to come out in front. It's Lewis on the ground. This is Smith. Smith works his way to the cage, hit hard by the defense in Guapone, and they look to break to Gleason. Gleason with the long pole carries it into the offensive zone. He'll look to give it up. Get it in the hands of a short stick when he can. Gleason, double team. Gleason up with it, able to get it to Shaknowski. And now they work down low. Warner can't come up with it. Out of the cage is Palmieri. Collision there. A little slow to get up is Warner, but he looks okay.
Nazarenka with the ground ball.
Nazarenka comes up with the ground ball and gets it over to Tassone as he's hit from behind. That ball will go out of bounds. A flag. And looks like a trip on Chris Unterstein. Yep. Not happy with the call.
I don't think. No, they're calling on Unterstein. I thought they were going to call it on Shaknowski.
Current penalty number 33, 1 minute for a trip.
Take a look at it again on your replay. Here the 2 men go on. There's Shaknowski. And there's Unterstein. Yep, it was Unterstein. Shaknowski right behind him. But it was Unterstein's stick that caught the player from Somers, and therefore Unterstein will be on the side with the 1 minute trip penalty. This is very important possession for Somers. No doubt about that with just under 6 minutes to go in the game.
Scoreless 19 minutes and 34 seconds as they start this man advantage.
I'll tell you right now, I think that if Shoreham can hold the fort here, come away with not giving away a goal, that'll be a big emotional lift.
Well, so much for that as Rabideau takes it to the cage and scores.
He wasn't wasting any time. Number 10, Jordan Rabideau.
So
he picks up his first goal of the game.
His first tally, cuts it to 3 with 5:41 to go. Man up goal for Rabideau.
Now we said that was an important goal. Number 1, it's important for momentum. Somers needs it. Number 2, it was important that they not take a lot of time off the clock to be able to get that goal, which they did not. Maybe 10, 11 seconds went off the clock, so it was a very important goal. But equally important now, Jordan Rabideau not facing off.
Well, they go with Lewis, who also is one of their face-off men, and they do come up with it, so I guess it really doesn't matter who takes it.
Ryan Hine taking that last shot.
And another shot, they score, just like that. Greg Lewis, and it's now a 2-goal game.
All right, now we feel momentum switching a little bit over here to the Tuskers.
So now with 5:25 to go, a 2-goal game. Boy, was that man up important. They get the goal, come right back, get the face-off by Lewis. They gain possession, and it's Lewis who buries it, his 3rd of the game.
Greg Lewis, who's always in the right spot at the right time, takes a nice shot, hard right-handed shot. And that one was not in tight on DeMarco. That one was from outside.
Big face-off here. Rabideau out for the face-off, and it comes up in the stick of Garland, who takes it to the cage. Garland with the right hand. Shot is knocked down by the defense.
How big would that have been if it goes in?
Well, right now, Shoreham needs to settle things down. Gleason heading for the loose ball. Loose ball push, and it goes over to Somers, trailing by 2. So Rabideau and Lewis back-to-back after Unterstein made it 10-6. And just like that, within a minute and a half, it's a 2-goal game. Off the bench, here's a shot opportunity by Lloyd, and it goes wide.
Wow, did he have a great look at the cage. He had a nice opening in that defense as he went straight off the bench area down towards the cage. Got a great feed.
And immediately, DeMarco yelling at his defense, hey, guys, help me out here. Coming right off the bench. And it looks like now the momentum obviously in the hands of Somers.
Oh, you can't make that mistake. Not now, boys. This is pressure time.
Shaknowski lets it go. You know, fake out. You do it when you play on the streets. Watch this play here on the goal that cuts it to 10-7. Everybody, we're watching 10 with the ball. He doesn't have it. The shot came from the other side. It was actually scored by Ryan Rabideau, as we said, but what a fake out. It's like the Statue of Liberty play. It's from the score! Rabideau!
Ryan Rabideau stepping it up. The All-County player picks up his 3rd goal. They bring it within 1 with 4.5 minutes. This one's no hidden ball trick. This one is just good lacrosse. Watch him here. Look at this feed down low. He's one-on-one. DeMarco a little bit out of the cage, and he's able to put it right over the shoulder of Matt DeMarco, and he brings them back into this game, down by 1 now with 4.5 minutes.
Wow. You thought it was pretty much, I said, the nail in the coffin.
I'm eating my words. I'm eating my words.
Man. And immediately, the coaching staff, the defense of Shoreham, I don't know what's going on. The coaching staff was upset. They are getting the troops together, and they are just talking it over.
Because they're getting everyone that's loose. Okay? Now defensively, let's get on matchup. As soon as that whistle blows, watch out. There's a lot of picks at 13 and 11. There's a lot of stuff going on there. Oh, listen to me. 1-2 down. Can we go for his wrist? Can we go for his wrist? Hey, let's go!
Well, obviously their concern was Ryan Rabideau and Greg Lewis and the way that they had worked on the offensive end. And Rabideau, you know, we said this kid is a finisher with more than 70 points, team leader. He's the goal scorer on this team, and he's stepped it up here in the 4th quarter. You look at these this half carry. 3rd quarter, all Shoreham. 4th quarter right now has totally turned, and now it's in the favor of Somers.
Absolutely, the momentum has changed. But also what Tommy Rotans has said down there, Coach Rotan says, get the ground balls. That's what we need, and that's been very critical to the success of the Tuskers in this 4th quarter. They're coming up with the ground balls on the face-off and also on the field as well, off the face-off.
And a big face-off here. Rabideau tries to win this one. Still on the ground. Everybody, it's a big scrum right now. Nobody gaining possession, still loose. And Donnellan able to come up with it. Just throws it wildly in the middle, and it's intercepted by Jordan Rabideau, who gets it over to Mazarenka. Mazarenka on the run. And over on the side to Von Hein, and a stop there by DeMarco. Maybe not the best shot, but he comes up with his 9th save.
Von Hein, I think, trying to catch DeMarco. He had players in front of them, hoping maybe he'd get screened a little bit. Took it high to the off-stick side, but DeMarco was equal to the challenge.
Lewis with 3 goals comes up with it. That feed will go wide. Coming off the bench is J.P. Lloyd, but he can't handle it. And the ball goes over to Shoreham with 3:47 to go here in the 4th.
Oh, those are the turnovers that give you coach a gray hair, man. You have possession of the ball with 3:47 to go, and you throw it away down by 1. You can't make that turnover.
Rabideau with 2 goals here in the 4th. The Tuskers 3 goals in a minute 8. Have cut it from 10-6 to 10-9. Gleason on the clear to the goalkeeper, DeMarco. Far side, Donnellan, the old Long Island player. Out of the cage is DeMarco. They get it to Gleason. They get it into the offensive zone. Pass gets by Cook.
There was an offsides. Shoreham was stepped offsides. They just call it now.
On the offside, Somers will get it back.
Liam Gleason took 1 step over the midfield stripe. I'm not sure if he just lost his position where he was, but no one stepped back, and that's a costly mental turnover. And the other way, offsides going the other way now. What's happening right now is the players are getting a little bit antsy here. They're feeling the pressure a little bit.
Ferreira carries it in to the offensive zone. Remember, with 2 minutes to go, they'll have to keep the ball in the box once it gets in there. It's an official timeout. Looks like Chris Cook, number 16, having an equipment problem. And the official talking it over with him. He adjusts his shoulder strap, his chin strap, his helmet strap. They'll set everything up at 3:11.
But you know, it's important. It allows Somers to be able to get a matchup now defensively with that official's timeout. They put the pole on Cook. They bring the short sticks to the weak side and down in low.
This is Unterstein. Big game for him today. 2 goals and 3 assists. Unterstein working against Mike Smith, the younger brother of Rob Smith. On defense, haven't called his names. Fresh legs out there on defense. To the cage, Unterstein, the shot goes wide as he tried going short side.
Well, he had his short stick beat. That was a smart move by taking the short stick by Chris Unterstein.
Behind the cage, open net, to the front, they shoot, they score! Cervini, with 2:39 to go, makes it a 2-goal game.
Somers gambles and loses on the gamble. They come out in a 10-man ride. They open up, well, they come out in a press, really. They take the goalie out of the cage to try and match up and double up on the ball, and they lose on the double. Here it is, coming around the cage. Cervini, he's got an open net. And that'll open it up a 2-goal lead.
Carrie, do you question the move of Jim Donahue? The team had all this momentum. You know, they just needed a good defensive stand there. Maybe a little risky taking him out of the cage, putting that pressure on this early with 2:40 to go.
I do question that. I'm not sure why he would have taken his keeper out of the cage. Plenty of time. The defense has been doing fine. They don't need the ball just as yet. You know, in the last minute and a half, you may look to do it, not with almost 3 minutes to go.
Rabideau on the break. The shot goes high and wide by Van Hine. Van Hine had a shot there. 31 goals coming into today's game. Misses that one. 2:22 to go.
And here you see again the shot by Van Hine. Pulls it a little bit, right hand, a little bit too strong, and pulls it wide of the cage.
You know, as you look at that shot from our camera, you can see he did not miss by much. It just goes to show this is such a game of inches. They've hit a couple of pipes today as well. They need to get on the offense now. Van Hine has it knocked away, and it'll be scooped up by DeMarco in the crease. He will take his time as we hit the 2-minute mark. DeMarco's pass intercepted by Lewis. On the turnover, the pass as he was looking for Van Hine, and it's picked off by DeMarco as the pass flew high.
Greg Lewis had his man open in front of the cage. Not able to connect.
1:42 to go. Ball in the box. Got to keep it in. He took it out. In and out of the box. Can't do that with under 2 minutes to go. And on the turnover, it goes back to Somers. They trail by 2.
There's again mental mistakes. You look at Coach Delia down on the sidelines. He's pointing to his head. Come on, let's think. We can't make those mistakes.
They take it into the offensive zone. This is Lewis. A flag is thrown.
And again, we have offsides now against the Wildcats.
Van Hine falls to the turf, keeps possession. They look in front. There's a shot. They score! Lewis takes the pass for Rabideau behind the net. It's a 1-goal game with 1:21 to go.
And that'll wipe out the penalty, so we'll be back to full strength. It was a 30-second technical. Nice feed by number 11, Ryan Rabideau, behind the cage. He finds his teammate, Greg Lewis, sitting in front of the cage. Here it is. Watch the feed up top. Right in front of the cage, Lewis takes that bounce shot right on the stick side of Matt DeMarco, and we're back to within 1 with 1:21 to go.
Well, biggest face-off of the afternoon, and Gonzella, who has struggled, did so well against Greg Pizer in the victory over Cold Spring Harbor. 19-4. Somers on the face-offs today, and now a timeout is called by the officials. Again, might be an equipment problem. Number 13, Greg Lewis, coming to the sidelines as they replace him with number 23, Drew Werney. Not really sure why Lewis would come off the field, but you want to get him back there quickly.
As quickly as you possibly can. This is the big face-off. This is it right here.
Big face-off, and Masarenka comes up with it for Somers as we hit a minute 10. Masarenka gets the ball over to Rob Smith. Smith down low, they've got a man. There's a shot that goes wide by Drew Werney. But they've got backer support with a minute 4 to go.
You know, there's plenty of time. They don't have to rush their passes. Here's that opportunity now. Here's Werney coming right at the cage, gets a little bit of a push, goes down. Good effort.
They keep it out front. Van Hine. They get it back to Lewis, back on the field. Lewis working one-on-one. Lewis, the shot, that one goes wide as we've got 53 seconds to go.
Comes out of the roll dodge, takes that left-hand shot wide of the cage.
Descoli starts it up, watched by Kevin Unterstein. Descoli with 2 goals. Unterstein forces him. Stick check away neatly by Von Voigt for Shoreham-Wading River, and they'll clear it out across midfield. Unable to control his Guapone, they get it back into the offensive zone. Gleason with a big hit. Gleason knocks it away from Lewis, and now Gleason comes up with it. But the pass goes wide as he tries hitting his teammate, Shaq Nowski. Ball back over to Somers. 31 seconds to go. Somers will use their last timeout.
Well, it's a good time to burn that last timeout. You got 30 seconds. Your ball. You got to get something now that's going to put it in the back of the net to be able to come away with this, at least with a tie, and push it into the overtime.
Somers out shooting Shoreham-Wading River 29-12 in shots attempts here in the second half. They lead 47-33 in the game in shots. But right now they want one shot. They want one very good shot and a chance to tie it up with 31 seconds to go and the ball.
Those 47 previous shots will mean nothing if they can't get one more and put it in and stick it in the net.
Well, you've got to work pretty hard just to get to the downstate championship. And when we say downstate championship, there's an upstate championship. That winner will play in the state final. The downstate championship as well, they will play in the state final. Just to clarify, when we say downstate championship, and this has been a dandy, I'll tell you, tied up at 1 after 1. It was 6-4 Somers heading into the third quarter. And third quarter, it was all Shoreham-Wading River. But here in the fourth, look out.
Hold on to your hat for these last 30 seconds.
30 seconds to go. Here we go. Smith to Descoli, being chased by Unterstein from behind. Descoli looking in the middle. Rabadou, the shot right on, and it's saved by DeMarco.
That could be it.
Down to 15 seconds. Ball in the stick of Shoreham. Chris Unterstein being forced there by Werney. Clock down to 8 seconds. And a whistle and an offside call.
No, again, he went out of the box. He went out of the box, Hal. So we don't have any kind of a penalty.
And a man is down on the field for Somers as Coach Jim Donahue not happy. And it looks like Rabadou is down on the field. Might be cramping up a bit here.
Yep, I think you're exactly correct. Just a little bit of a cramp. Watch that last save. This is going to be a big one for DeMarco. And here's the player who takes that shot. That was Rabadou.
He might have gotten hurt on that play. Maybe it's not just cramps. You hope it's something as simple as cramps, as he's still down on the field. He does get hit there with the stick, a little bit of a cross-check as he took the shot. But Jordan Rabadou maybe a little bit far out here. So you watch him reverse himself on the Hofstra turf, and there's the check, and the right knee slamming onto the ground. And the training staff here, and that's what they're working on right now with 7 seconds to go. They're icing down that knee, it looks like right now, the knee or the shin in that area. But there's DeMarco, the man of the hour, with the big stop. 10 saves. Well, 9 saves rather. You give up 10 goals, but those 9 saves, oh so big, none bigger than that last one.
None bigger than that last one, because that one really was very, very critical. Not only for coming up to save, but he was able to hold it too. Not give up a rebound, not give up the possession.
Now the question is, as Rabadou's still getting worked on the sidelines, Tom Rattan's looking on, just 7 seconds away. What kind of a play do you do right now if you're Somers? You're starting out, you're about 50 yards from the cage. What do you do now? Got to find somebody fast, maybe Rob Smith, number 16. He's probably the fastest guy. Or do you look to throw the long pass and maybe get a deflection?
Well, they're going to take the ball out way down first. Now they're going to have about 80 yards to go before they can get in anywhere as they call the players in off the field. You're going to maybe give the ball to Smith. He probably has their best stick, and make a long pass. Not on goal. You're going to try and hit somebody. You got 7 seconds. You can, that ball will move pretty quick. So if they can get the guy open to come up and receive that ball, turn, and possibly get a shot. Now they can come off with Lewis. They can come up with Von Hein.
Well, Rob Smith, number 16, we talked about him, such a great defensive player, usually plays with the long stick. Went over, he's one of the fastest players you see right there. That's a short stick. So they may, well, now it looks he's going back to the long pole. Because he is one of the fastest players on the team, so you want to get the ball if you're going to run with the ball. 7 seconds, you can go end to end. All you really want here is one shot. You know, you'd like to have it from about 10 yards out, but you know what? You can score from 15, 20 yards out.
Well, you can, but I tell you, I don't think Somers is just going to let him run down the field. If you're going to be Somers defensively, I'm going to try and double up on the ball. I'm going to exert pressure on him at the other end of the field.
Now, Robidoux making his way off. Jordan Robidoux, I'll tell you what, unsung in the stats, unless you look at the thing in the stat sheet, of face-offs rather, because he has been spectacular. Absolutely phenomenal. The first goal of the game set up by a face-off win by Robidoux. And he's being helped over to the sidelines, and we certainly hope it's not anything too serious, and we wish him the best. So 7 seconds to go. Let's see what the setup is. It looks like Smith will be spotted here by Chris Unterstein.
Unterstein is going to go right up on the man.
6'2", 190.
Give him the sideline and use the sideline, and hopefully you can drive him and push him out of bounds.
Garland 3. Van Hine 12. Down low front. They're trying to do a bunch of weaves. Here's the pass to Scully, looking in the middle. There's Lewis. Lewis the shot, and it's knocked down, and it's over! The Wildcats win it!
And the Wildcats of Wading River.
Well, this is what you play for, Kerry. Start the season with a goal in mind. You want to win a championship. You'd like to win your division. You'd like to win your county. You'd like to win the island. You want to win the downstate. One more hurdle to go. The New York State Championship.
Well, I'll tell you what, Somers gave it a great effort in that last 7 seconds. They did a good job. They got the ball to the Scully. They gave the ball up to Lewis. He had a look at the cage. He had even a good possible shot to take on DeMarco, but they just ran out of time, and, man, they played one heck of a game. This was a super match to the Wildcats.
The Shoreham-Wading River Wildcats. Say it, everybody. They are the downstate champs. One more hurdle to go. The New York State Championship this Saturday at Hofstra. They win this one by a goal, 11-10 over Somers.
The gazelle-elephant, the platypussycat. The race to create such magnificent animal hybrids is extremely competitive. But ever since 2001, we've had a technological edge, a fiber optic communications network from Lightpath. It allows us to share vast amounts of data with our research partners faster and more securely. And that led to our greatest success, the golden retriever. Thank you, Lightpath.
We were losing by a goal with 19 seconds to go in the second overtime period, and ended up scoring the tying goal with 13 seconds and the winning goal with 6 seconds to go. So we scored 2 goals in 19 seconds to win a game which everyone thought was over. But we didn't give up. We kept playing hard and ended up winning the game.
Catch it on Cablevision local programming. TV that's close to home.
The downstate champions in Class C, the Shoreham-Wading River Wildcats, defeating the Tuskers of Somers by the score of 11-10, and just an exciting game, Kerry Gluck, and what can you say?
It was an outstanding game. It's just what we expected in this downstate champion. Somers coming into the game undefeated, going against the 19-1 Shoreham Wildcats. We knew it was going to be a close match, and Somers played outstanding. I thought their first half, third quarter, is what really, they let it get away from them in the third quarter, and they fought back, but they just couldn't overcome that 4-goal deficit.
Liam Cervini, the star in this one, and he's downstairs with Keith Irizarry.
And it does not get much bigger than Liam. Liam, 7 points on the game, 3 goals, 4 assists. First off, talk about your outing.
You know, it's just, it seems like every day someone steps up, and it's just a question of who it's going to be. We've got 6 really good kids on the offense, and so, you know, we don't go out looking for a big day. It's just, you got to let it happen. Someone's going to be hot. So.
At the half, you guys were trailing. What did your coach tell you in the locker room?
Basically, he just told us to, you know, calm it down. That we thought we came out flat, and then when we got behind, we were getting a little antsy and didn't know what we wanted to do. So he just said to, you know, relax and play our game, and we'll let it come to us.
So you guys go on a run. Then Somers goes on a run, and you use the word antsy, so I'll use the same word. Did you get antsy when it was 11-10?
Definitely. You know, as soon as the team knocks in a few, then they start believing in themselves. There's nothing, you know, there's no question of what they can do, especially, you know, a great team like this. So we were nervous, but we didn't lose focus. You know, we stayed on track. We knew what we had to do to preserve it.
So let me let this soak in. Downstate champions right now. I know you're excited about that, but there's one more game, the state championship on Saturday. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, that's we've been talking about that ever since I was a little kid, of how far we could go. You know, we were always going to be the best team at Shoreham, and we really wanted to leave our mark, but we didn't want to talk about it too early. So we're taking it one game at a time. So this is it. It was just, you know, it's great. I don't even know what to say.
Liam, we'll see you on Saturday. Congratulations. Liam Cervini, the star of today's game, and you know what? It was a star effort by the team. Shoreham Reading River will go over towards Jimmy. Jimmy, just an amazing game from them, huh?
Absolutely, Keith, and that's what it's all about right there. Shoreham Reading River, a program yet to celebrate its 10th birthday. This program only 9 years old, and the Wildcats find themselves one victory away from celebrating the school's first overall state championship. The Wildcats scored the first 6 goals of the second half when Somers out of Westchester County showed they were not dead in the water yet. They scored the next 3, but that man Keith had right there, he had the goal, Liam Cervini, after Somers had cut it to 10-9. Cervini makes it 11-9, and from there it was left up to Matt DeMarco, the junior goalie. 15 ticks on the clock, Somers' last shot at the cage of the game, and DeMarco corrals it, and that'll do it. Shoreham Wading River plays Saturday for the whole enchilada. That'll wrap it up for this Class C semifinal. We move on to the finals. As always, Cablevision Sports is brought to you by the good people at Adelphi University. Check them out on the web at adelphi.edu or give them a call, 1-800-ADELPHI. And by Cablevision Local Programming. It's TV that's close to home.